toasted hazelnut scents drift through humidity. He sits near the glass with the long plastic spoon. July holds his breath while the city traffic hums, and he checks on his phone every couple of minutes. The dark cold brew rests on the coaster of tile, swirling with almond milk, cloudy and thick. He slides off his headphones to breathe in the room, watching the barista pour syrup and drip. She walks through the doorway, her umbrella dry. A splash of crushed ice lands inside a tall cup. They do not speak, but the rhythm is set. The afternoon slows as the frost builds right up. He takes a slow sip while the heat melts the street. Cold liquid running down, cooling the beat. Two strangers listening to lo-fi on loop, finding a breeze in a bitter espresso scoop. Summer outside is a heavy glass wall. Inside the glass, frost settles on all. A thumb tracer circles around the black rim. She ordered dark roast with 3 ice cubes inside. The smell of crushed mint leaves is mixing with foam. A short, quiet sanctuary where they can hide. He turns to the window, the sunlight is sharp. He stirs up the syrup that's settled below. A bass line is thumping from speakers above. A chill Korean groove moving steady and slow. No urgent messages waiting in queue, just condensation in shades of dark blue. The humidity lingers beyond the front door while ice cubes collide on the laminate floor. He takes a slow sip while the heat melts the street. Cold liquid running down, cooling the beat. Two strangers listening to lo-fi on loop, finding a breeze in the bitter espresso scoop. Summer outside is a heavy glass wall. Inside the glass, frost settles on all. Straw makes a rattle, the last drops are gone. He pulls up his bag as the bass line plays on. A sweet roasted scent follows out to the sun. Another July afternoon is almost done. And no bicycle chain cling sharp outside. The heat is sticking to the pavement tiles. You slide across the vinyl bench inside, wiping sweat off your forehead with a smile. Yeah, you start venting about your 9 to 5, how the city makes it hard to feel alive. I just listen while the grinder crushes beans, watching summer settle down between the tumbler sweats against my right hand. We do not need a bigger plan, just 3 square cubes melting slow. Nowhere else we need to go. Drink it down before the ice turns into water. The days are getting long, the shade is getting shorter. You keep talking while the chill runs through the straw. Best cure for July that I ever saw. Sit with me a little longer, my friend, before this quiet afternoon has to end. Yeah. Hey, you take a quick gulp and your eyes blink tight. Brain freeze hits in the heavy sunlight. We're laughing nothing like we used to do back when 24 hours felt brand new. Now we talk about rent and broken cars under cheap plastic lamps that pretend to be stars. The dark rose cuts right through the humid air. Glad to share this tiny table, glad you are there. Traffic comes a heavy beat through the glass. We watch the hurry up strangers pass. You swirl the dark liquid, make the glass ring. Sometimes a cold drink changes everything. No big answers for the mess in your head, just iced espresso and the words you said. Drink it down before the ice turns into water. The days are getting long, the shade is getting shorter. You keep talking while the chill runs through the straw. Best cure for July that I ever saw. Sit with me a little longer, my friend, before this quiet afternoon has to end. The glass is cleared up, frost washed away. You look lighter than you did earlier today. Leave the ice in my cup. We can stay right here until the heat lifts up. Yeah. The hiss of a bus brake echoes through the dusty alley. You wipe your forehead, sitting down across from me. The humidity outside is melting all the asphalt, but you have been running all week like it is all your fault. I pushed a sweat beaded plastic cup towards your side. You do not have to explain the things you try to hide. Listen to the ice clink against the glass. Slow down a second, let the heavy traffic pass. You have been working way too hard beneath the summer heat. Take off your heavy backpack and rest your tired feet. Drink it down slow, let the dark rose freeze the day. We can sit right here till the shadows stretch away. Iced Americano dripping down your fingertips. A little bit of frost on your weary lips. You do not need a plan for the rest of this hot afternoon. Just sit with me, my friend, under this indoor sky of June. A delivery scooter revs out on the main street line. You check your phone screen, checking on the time. Put it face down, give your shoulders room to drop. The world will not end if you just decide to stop. Look at the condensation running like a riverbed. Clear out all those tangled thoughts inside your head. Listen to the ice clink against the glass. Slow down a second, let the heavy traffic pass. You have been working way too hard beneath the summer heat. Take off your heavy backpack and rest your tired feet. Drink it down slow, let the dark rose freeze the day. We can sit right here till the shadows stretch away. Iced Americano dripping down your fingertips. A little bit of frost on your weary lips. You do not need a plan for the rest of this hot afternoon. Just sit with me, my friend, under this indoor sky of June. Remember when we walked these sidewalks back in school? We thought that growing up was gonna be so cool. Now we pay for coffee just to buy an hour of shade. So lean back in that chair, watch the midday sunlight fade. The sun can burn outside all it wants today. Right here in the cool, we will let the troubles drift away. Take another sip, let the cold wash over you. Nothing else to prove, nothing else to do. Yeah, that sound from the street fades into the quiet air. Just you and me and a cold drink we can share. Silence cracks when your memory strikes. A quiet room broken by a phantom noise. Dust floating slow in the amber light. Sweat beads forming on a tall clear glass. Outside the asphalt hums with summer weight. Inside the ceiling fan spins out of time. Dark cold brew sitting on a lemonade desk. Ice cubes shifting with a tiny click. Heat shimmers off the traffic lights downtown. Shadows stretch across the concrete tile. I tilt the plastic rim against my lip. Frost hits my tongue before the bitter drip. Filter the sunlight through a shade of screen. Every forgotten moment plays in blue and green. Cold coffee washed down with a quiet sigh. Watching the city melt under July. Rewind the clip where you were standing near. The ice dissolves until the glass runs clear. Yeah, zoom in on linen shirts across the street. Reflections dancing on the window pane. A black umbrella blocking out the glare. Heavy humidity hanging in the air. I stirred a brown liquid with a thin white straw. Swirling tiny glaciers in a plastic jar. The camera lingers on a drop receipt. Marked 3 p.m. on an empty street. Yeah. Frame by frame the afternoon decays. Bitterness lingering in 30 ways. One long swallow takes the chill right in, where the quiet ends and thoughts begin. Lens flares fade into the evening sky. A single water drop runs down the side. Empty cup on the windowsill. The silence settles back and keeps me still. Where did you bury that promise? The cashier handed me a paper sleeve, green ink bleeding into damp cardboard. 32 degrees outside, asphalt shimmering like oil on sea water. I spin the plastic cup in my palm, condensation wet in my wrist. Why do I always order dark roast when my stomach aches? Yeah, your shoes were red back then, or maybe brown. Memory is just a cheap projector with a flickering bulb. Ice clicks against plastic, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. A dog barks down the alleyway, someone talks loud about rent. My fingers freeze when my forehead sweats. Everything runs together like cheap watercolor in humidity. Are you sitting under a cool vent right now too? Or are you halfway across the city? Forgetting how I talk, swallowing cold espresso, watching the droplets slide down the cup. My head feels like a crowded train on subway line 2. No open seats, summer drags his heavy feet, drown in my thoughts in melted ice. I drift through the afternoon haze, losing track of what I walked out to buy. Just dark cold coffee and a shadow that won't move. Did I lock the front door when I stepped out? Doesn't matter, nobody is coming over anyway. The water drips onto my knee, leaving a round mark on faded denim. I should get a haircut next week, maybe change my route home. He used to sip straight from the rim, never taking a straw. Now I grab 2 plastic straws out of habit, a pathetic ghost lingering. The overhead speakers play a synth track from 4 years ago. I used to know every word, now it is just low bass vibrating the window. My fingers freeze when my forehead sweats. Everything runs together like cheap watercolor in humidity. Are you sitting under a cool vent right now too? Or are you halfway across the city? Forgetting how I talk, swallowing cold espresso, watching the droplets slide down the cup. My head feels like a crowded train on subway line 2. No open seats, summer dragged his heavy feet, drown in my thoughts in melted ice. I drift through the afternoon haze, losing track of what I walked out to buy. Just dark cold coffee and a shadow that won't move. If I drink this fast enough, will my heart beat faster than my doubts? Caffeine, it's my bloodstream, making my fingertips twitch. But the heat stays thick, a delivery scooter zooms past, blowing hot exhaust against my shins. I wonder if white clouds ever get tired of drifting with no destination. Wonder if you ever look at a tall plastic glass and pause for a second. The last ice cube shrinks down to a tiny sliver of frozen water. Bitter liquid pooling at the bottom of the straw. Who knows where the time went while I sat here? Where did you bury that promise? Sip, melt, drift away. Heavy legs pressed deep into linoleum, anchor for a body that was always running. Outside July bakes the asphalt gray, inside condensation drips down my tumbler. Young kid, I am sitting where you wish to be, 28, drinking dark roast over crushed ice. You thought 25 men having all answers. You thought every storm required a fight. Listen to the glass clinking against the frost. Everything you panicked over wasn't really lost. The humidity melts against the double pane. I am cooling down the fire that burnt your brain. Drink it slow, 19, let the chill sink in. You don't need to win every battle under your skin. The summer heat will pass, the black liquid tastes clear. I wish I could send this cold blast back through the year. Stop holding your breath in the sweltering light. The future turns out alright. Remember when you skipped lunch just to buy a beat? Pacing through the subway heat with sweaty feet. Terrified of turning 30 with an empty hand. Trying so hard to make everyone understand. The chair beneath me bears the weight of those nights. All the panic attacks under fluorescent lights. I take a long sip, bitter turns into sweet. You survive the pavement, you survive the street. Cube by cube, ice dissolves into dark water. You were just a dream of somebody's earnest sun. I forgive your rush, I forgive your pride. Sit down in this shape, put the fear aside. The chair holds firm while the afternoon fades. Another sip of cold brew in the air-conditioned shade. Dear 19, relax your tight shoulders now. We made it out somehow. Yeah, Apricot rays stain the glass window as July bakes the asphalt right outside. My iced Americano sweats upon the wooden table. You ask if the empty chair is free to share. I nod without a word and slide my notebook over. You sit down and talk, I feel what kind of milk and espresso. The color of amber light settles between our shadows. You whisper that the heat today feels almost unbearable. We stir up plastic straws in rhythm, swirling little tornadoes in the dark brown liquid. You smile at the sound of ice cubes knocking together. A stranger sharing 3 square feet of cool air. Do you mind if I sit here and rest my eyes? The city burns hot, but this glass stays cold. We talk about nothing and the time flows by. A brief quiet shelter from the afternoon noise. Just 2 passing lives, wiping frost off the plastic, drinking down the summer while the light turns blue. You tell me you just finished a long shift down the street, and sweet coffee is the only thing that keeps you awake. I say I come here every time the sky gets heavy, watching condensate drip down like tiny summer rain. You laugh softly when I say the ice melts too fast. You offer half your paper napkin to dry my hands. No names exchanged, just honest small talk floating in the small air-conditioned pocket of the world. Stir up plastic straws in rhythm, swirling little tornadoes in the dark brown liquid. You smile at the sound of ice cubes knocking together. A stranger sharing 3 square feet of cool air. Do you mind if I sit here and rest my eyes? The city burns hot, but this glass stays cold. We talk about nothing and the time floats by. A brief quiet shelter from the afternoon noise. Just 2 passing lives, wiping frost off the plastic, drinking down the summer while the light turns blue. Maybe tomorrow we will pass each other on the crosswalk and never even notice under heavy black umbrellas. But right now the heat wave stops at this threshold. Your soft voice flowing over lo-fi chords on the speaker. We raise our cold cups in a silent unsaid toast. Before you step back into the heat, apricot rays turn into indigo shade. My cold coffee finished, but the air still feels light. Yeah, you told me yesterday that I noticed things nobody cares about, like how the black pavement sweats under July heat, or how a droplet runs down the side of my plastic cup, leaving a tiny trail before it disappears in the bottom groove. A delivery scooter zooms past, blue helmet faded at the brim. The barista's left shoe has a smudge of dry white syrup. I take a long sip through this paper straw that is getting soft. Dark roast bitter on my tongue while the window unit hums. Nothing grand is happening on this avenue today, just a collection of tiny scenes keeping the heat at bay. My iced Americano sloshes softly against my thumb, and I write down every single detail until my mind goes numb. Cold coffee in my right hand, watching the world slow down. A sparrow hop across the crosswalk in this quiet corner of town. The bakery neon sign has one flickering letter near the end. I count 7 different shades of green where the street trees bend. Just small observations keeping me cool inside. No big feelings left to swallow, nowhere left to hide. Hey, second observation, the old dog sleeping by the laundry shop. His tail twitches twice every time the traffic lights stop. Third thing, the sharp glare off of Park's damn mirror. Fourth thing, the ice melting, making the dark brew clearer. You said yesterday my head stays filled with background noise. Maybe you were right, but it brings me a strange kind of poise. A teenager dropped a coin that rolled right near a drainage grate. I watched him pick it up and walk on at a steady rate. Ice cubes cling together, a tiny winter inside July. A cloud shaped like a torn envelope drifts through the pale sky. Maybe these little details do not add up to a greater truth, but they keep my mind quiet in the dry heat of my youth. I take another sip, taste the water mixing with the bean. Grateful for the shaded bench and everything in between. Cold coffee in my right hand, watching the world slow down. A sparrow hop observations, keeping me cool inside. No big feelings left to swallow, nowhere left to hide. The paper straw gives out completely now. I lift the plastic lid and drink it straight. Another summer afternoon spent collecting small things you said I noticed too much. Maybe that is just how I survive the heat. Rough woven cotton clings against my skin today. The dim colors soaking up July humidity. I slide into a corner bench of faded corduroy, ordering a cold brew double shot to clear the haze. The glass wets instantly, dripping down my thumb. A droplet falls directly on my sleeve, and suddenly the dark stain blooms outward, taking me back 3 years to when you pull my cuff. It is funny how a thread remembers how soft threads can hold a buried ear. I watch the water sink into the wheat, then all at once your laughter hits my ear. Sipping ice until my fingers go numb. Back to that afternoon under the canopy shade. You wore that faded flannel even in the heat, sharing one plastic cup while the asphalt burned. The bitterness on my tongue is still the same. I swallow down the memory before it fades. Yeah, remember how you wiped the spilled espresso on your hem? You said that linen looks much better when it tells a story. Now I sit alone with ambient beats on repeat, tracing the crosshatch patterns on my lap. Every fiber holds a ghost of how we used to talk. Rapid fire jokes while the ice cubes rattle round. We swore July would never feel this heavy. Now I am paying $4,501 just to sit with your shadow. The air conditioner blows cold across my bare wrist, while the past spills out like melted dark beans. The glass clicks sharp against the wooden top. The spell fractures as the ice cubes shift. You are somewhere else entirely now, wearing new clothes for someone else's eyes. But for 5 minutes while this drink stays cold, I wear the feeling like an old fitted jacket. Dark goes down to the last brown melt. Cotton dry slowly in the air conditioning. I leave the cafe with cold hands and a fabric full of yesterday. .332 blinks on the dashboard panel in my mind. I close my eyes and draft a scene. 5 August ahead. We own a tiny flat with windows facing east, and neat the others rushes through the afternoon. The asphalt outside steams beneath the heavy heat. But in our living room, the ceiling fan turns slow. I fill 2 tall glasses with clear frozen cubes, pouring dark cold brew right over the rim. Watching the black swirls dissolve into cloudy brown. We won't worry about rent or late night calls. We won't check our phones every 20 seconds. Just you and oversized linen, and me leaning back against the cool plaster wall. Someday in July we'll hold cold glass in our hands, listening to ice clink while the summer outside burns. No deadlines to run from, no quiet regrets, just 2 ice drinks sweating on a wooden desk. I can see it so clearly, every detail set, the future where we finally rest. I imagine your laugh when the frost hits your tongue. You always drink too fast and get a sudden brain freeze. I'll hand you a paper napkin, shaking my head as the city noise muffles behind the double glass. 32 years old or maybe 35, we'll look at each other and know we made it through. The bitter coffee tastes sweeter when shared in that room, where summer heat is just a backdrop through the frame. We won't worry about what comes next year. We won't feel the weight of this young adult strain, just the condensate dripping down your wrist, and a quiet afternoon with nothing to prove. Someday in July we'll hold cold glass in our hands, listening to ice clink while the summer outside Sitting in this camp subway car, sweating through my shirt on my way to a shift. But this cheap plastic cup of melted ice in my grip, yeah. There's a down payment on that upcoming scene. Hold on a little longer, keep running the path until that imagined afternoon becomes real. 3:32 on that future clock, 2 cold coffees, you and me, eyes melting slow in the heat. We'll be alright there, just wait and see. The dinner brass key ring vibrates against the plastic tabletop. The hum of the espresso machine swallows my quiet exhale. 27 sitting here counting the sweat beads on a cold brew cup. Outside, the asphalt steams like a quiet warning I ignored again. I press my thumb to the frost line, watching it dissolve into water drops. Nobody called, but my hands stay busy spinning this wooden stir around. Another summer month slips by without asking for my permission. My chest feels light, then heavy, then cold. I swallow the bitter wash before the ice turns soft. Too many thoughts queuing up in my head today. Maybe I am just tired of pretending I know where I'm going. I drag my fingernail through the watermarks, chill dark liquid burning down my throat so slow. The humidity outside cannot touch this small wooden booth. Just me, my cold brew, and the quiet noise of passing hours. I sip until the frost turns into clean, clear glass. The small brass ring sits still now, resting by a torn paper sleeve. I check my bank balance, then close the screen before it stings. Everyone my age is running somewhere with a polished blueprint. I'm just sitting here watching ice melt into diluted dark waves. The air conditioning blows straight down my neck, sharp and fake. I take another gulp, letting the frost numb my chattering teeth. It is okay to sit still while the city burns out there. My chest feels light, then heavy, then cold. I swallow the bitter wash before the ice turns soft. Too many thoughts queuing up in my head today. Maybe I am just tired of pretending I know where I'm going. I drag my fingernail through the watermarks, chill dark liquid burning down my throat so slow. The humidity outside cannot touch this small wooden booth. Just me, my cold brew, and the quiet noise of passing hours. I sip until the frost turns into clean, clear glass. Summer heat drags everyone into a rush, but I stay frozen right here. 2 ice cubes clink against the rim like a tiny mechanical clock. Tick, tick, float, sink. I do not need answers before this cup runs dry. I just need 5 more minutes of this dark, heavy chill. The brass key stays quiet, the last cube turns to water. One last cold sip, I stand up slowly into the heat. A delivery scooter rattles over metal grates outside while you lean back inside about your corporate job. You wipe the humidity off your temples with a paper napkin, saying summer in the city feels like an endless marathon. I push the tall glass across the small marble table. The condensation drips down onto your tight wrist. Stop checking your work emails for just 10 minutes. Drink the dark roast before the cubes turn to water. Yeah, you keep talking about leaving this city next September, but you buy another monthly subway pass anyway. The ceiling fan overhead spins in lazy circles above us, and you finally drop your shoulders an inch lower. Put your phone face down on the coaster, my friend. We have nowhere to rush to while the midday heat burns. Listen to the ice clink softly against the rim, washing down the heavy week you carried on your back. It is just you and me with 2 cold glasses today, letting the air conditioner heal every bruised ambition. You always complain that espresso gives you tremors, yet you order the largest size every single July afternoon. Look at that avenue out there. Yeah, people running under sunshades, trying to dodge the heat waves bouncing off the storefronts. Yeah, your linen shirt is rumpled from the crowded train ride, but your voice is much softer than it was last month. Remember when we thought 30 men having everything solved? Now we are just glad when the weekend stays quiet. The barista turns down the chill hip-hop track in the background. Traffic on the corner slows to a quiet crawl behind the glass. You do not need to explain why you felt overwhelmed on Tuesday. Just sip the bitter cold liquid until the chill hits your throat. Put your phone face down on the coaster, my friend. We have nowhere to rush to while the midday heat burns. Listen to the ice clink softly against the rim, washing down the heavy weight you carried on your back. It is just you and me with two cold glasses today, letting the air conditioner heal every bruised ambition. The plastic straw leaves a mark on your lower lip. You smile for the first time since we sat down. Drink up, take a deep breath. The afternoon is ours. We will figure out tomorrow when tomorrow comes. Rich espresso aroma, heavy with summer humidity, lingers near the open threshold. He sits alone at the small wooden corner table, tapping his foot to a distant beat. The plastic tumbler sweats cold, drops onto his notebook pages. He watches her across the crosswalk, holding her own iced latte against the heat. Neither of them speaks a word across the crowded room. The city hums outside while the air conditioner rattles softly. He spins the ice around his glass and watches the dark liquid swirl. A silent story unfolds between two strangers taking shelter from the afternoon sun. Under the heavy July sky, they drink their cold coffee in peace. Two separate lives resting in the cool shade of the cafe breeze. Ice cubes clink like faint echoes of a conversation never started. He turns the page and lets the bitter dark roast heal his restless mind. She takes off her headphones, taking a slow sip through a straw. Her eyes wander to the street where neon signs reflect off wet tar. He writes another line in ink, capturing the quiet cadence of her breath. No drama, no rush promises, just two souls catching a momentary rest. The summer afternoon lingers in slow motion. Dark coffee cools the burning pulse of youth. They do not need to know each other's names to share this feeling. Just the quiet refuge of a nice drink on an August weekday. The bell above the door rings once as she stands to leave. He finishes his cup, ice melted down to pure clarity. Another summer day passes in the city shade. Cold coffee, soft shadows, and a quiet breeze. Why does the afternoon always demand an answer? I bite down on a plastic straw and count the cars rolling past the window. Rent is due in 5 days. My email inbox is overflowing with polished lies. And this cold brew tastes a little too burnt, but I keep drinking anyway. Thoughts ricochet from a third grade teacher to a friend who moved away. Sweat beads sliding down my wrist like tiny mountain streams. Did I turn off the gas stove before leaving the house this morning? Maybe I want it to burn. Maybe I just want a reason to stay right here. The air conditioning hums at 21 degrees, a sharp contrast to the asphalt melting 2 feet past the glass. I swirl the remaining ice cubes, listening to them clatter against the plastic, wondering if growing up is just learning how to enjoy feeling numb, chilled. Liquid rushes down the drive-thru, freezing every chaotic thought for half a second. The summer heat presses heavy against the window pane, but right here under fluorescent lights I am completely motionless. One sip for forgotten dreams, 2 sips for the evening commute, letting the brain freeze. Please quiet down everything I never said. My phone screen lights up with a calendar reminder I refuse to open. Instead I watch condensation pool around the base of my cup, drawing imaginary maps of coastal towns I will probably never visit. It's late 20s, too late to start over, or am I just running out of excuses? The barista changes the playlist to a slow synth loop, and for 3 beats my breathing actually syncs with the bass line. I remember holding a strawberry ice bar when I was 7. Sticky fingers, no deadlines, no constant pressure sitting behind my ribs. Now I spend my salary buying short moments of air-conditioned silence. The air conditioning hums at 21 degrees, a sharp contrast to the asphalt melting 2 feet past the glass. I swirl the remaining ice cubes, listen to them clatter against the plastic, wondering if growing up is just learning how to enjoy feeling numb. Chilled liquid rushes down my dry throat, freezing every chaotic thought for half a second. The summer heat presses heavy against the window pane, but right here under fluorescent lights I am completely motionless. 1 sip for forgotten dreams, 2 sips for the evening commute, letting the brain freeze, quiet down everything I never said. Thought turns into memory, memory turns into vapor, rising through the humid street. The second I push open the door, why do I construct entire catastrophes inside my head when the only immediate reality is the ice melting into water? Transparent, diluted, lukewarm, just like every grand promise I made to myself in January. Why does the day keep asking for things I cannot give? The straw makes a hollow suction noise against the bottom. Step out into 34 degrees, swallow the bitter taste, keep walking. A torn corner of a grocery receipt clings to the wet tabletop. I push it back and forth with my thumb, watching the blue ink smudge. Outside the midday haze bakes the street, turning the air thick and heavy. My chest feels tight from deadlines I keep running from. The glass in my hand sweats faster than I can think. Dark roasted cold brew settling at the bottom, bitter and clear. I take a long draw through the straw, letting the chill strike my tooth. For 3 seconds my mind stops racing through last year's mistakes. Everyone in the city is rushing towards somewhere bright, while I am sitting under this weak air conditioner, holding on to winter. I count the remaining ice cubes, 3, 2, 1. They clink against the glass like small hollow bells. Let the summer burn itself out beyond the double glass doors. I am drowning my restless thoughts in black liquid ice. Nothing needs to be solved before this cup turns warm. Just me, the quiet hum of the fridge, and my frozen heartbeat. Sliding my fingers over the condensation, writing names I used to call, then wiping them away before anyone can notice. 28 years old and still figuring out how to breathe when July hits. My phone screen lights up with another notification about bills and meetings. I flip it face down next to the soggy paper napkin. The bitter taste sits on the back of my tongue like an old secret. People walk past the window in bright linen shirts, laughing out loud. I envy how easily they move through this sweltering humidity. I stir the melting ice, watching the dark brown swirl into pale tints, sometimes disappearing into the chill. Is the only way to stay real. Everyone in the city is rushing towards somewhere bright, while I am sitting under this weak air conditioner, holding on to winter. I count the remaining ice cubes, 3, 2, 1. They clink against the glass like small hollow bells. Let the summer burn itself out beyond the double glass doors. I am drowning my restless thoughts in black liquid ice. Nothing needs to be solved before this cup turns warm. Just me, the quiet hum of the fridge, and my frozen heartbeat. Maybe tomorrow I will answer those unread messages. Maybe tomorrow I will stop looking for shadows in the afternoon light. But right now the cold liquid drops down my throat like medicine. It numbs the noise inside my skull. It gives me 5 minutes of clean air. The last cube melts into the dark depth. I lift the glass, swallow the last bitter drop. The receipt corner is so completely through now. I stand up, stepping back out into the heat. Skateboard wheels thud against concrete stairs. Outside the window where the alley breeze high. You slump across a small round table, tying your hair back in a loose knot. I slide the tall plastic tumbler over dark road, swimming under heavy cold foam. You haven't said a word since you sat down, like your phone screen is your only home. Look up for a second, let the sweat dry off. The fan overhead keeps a steady rhythm. You don't need to fix everything today. Just sit inside this tiny kingdom. Drink it down while the ice still clinks. Let the bitter espresso freeze your worries quiet. We can waste the afternoon right here, far away from your inner riot. Hold the cold glass against your cheek, breathing slow, listen to me talk. Summer outside can burn all at once. We are safe on this corner block. Crosswalk beeps once and fades away. A delivery driver kicks his kickstand down. You stir your straw in a slow circle, watching the milk swirl around in brown. You tell me your boss kept you late again, that your 20s feel like a running leap. I push the paper napkin your way, tell you it's okay if you fall asleep. Look up for a second, let the sweat dry off. The fan overhead keeps a steady rhythm. You don't need to fix everything today. Just sit inside this tiny kingdom. Drink it down while the ice still clinks. Let the bitter espresso freeze your worries quiet. We can waste the afternoon right here, far away from your inner riot. Hold the cold glass against your cheek, breathing slow, listen to me talk. Summer outside can burn all at once. We are safe on this corner block. I remember when we shared cheap instant sticks in that cramped studio back in 22. Now we buy 30-ounce cold brews just to cope, but I still see the same tired you. Drop your shoulders, unclamp your jaw. You don't have to win every fight today. Drink it down while the ice still clinks. Let the bitter espresso freeze your worries quiet. We can waste the afternoon right here, far away from your inner riot. Hold the cold glass against your cheek, breathing slow, listen to me talk. Summer outside can burn all at once. We are safe on this corner block. The ice drops low in your plastic cup. You finally smile just a little bit. Take another sip, my friend. We have nowhere else we need to sit. 10 past 4 smell blends with sweet vanilla syrup, floating past the open doorway on a July afternoon. He taps his index finger on the sweating glass while she adjusts her canvas strap without a word. The summer breeze outside is thick and suffocating. Inside the glass is frost and floating dark brown cubes. He watches tiny bubbles climb up to the plastic lid, searching for a sentence that could break the quiet room. 2 paper sleeves are touching on the wooden board. Their quiet conversation drifts like light dust in the air. She swirls a straw around until the ice clicks off. A summer story frozen right before it disappears. Cold coffee dripping through a quiet afternoon. They sit like strangers sharing the same shade. The city melts beneath the heavy August haze, while bitter sweetness lingers in the choice they made. He takes a sip and feels the frost against his teeth. She turns her head to watch the traffic pass through shadows, resting in the air conditioner breeze, holding on to moments fading way too fast. It's His phone lights up with news he doesn't care to read. Her fingers trace the moisture running down the side. They used to share a single drink without a thought. Now two tall cups divide the space they try to hide. The roaster in the back kicks on with roasted cocoa scent. A sudden rush of cool air pushes back the heat. He wonders if she'll call him when the winter comes, or if this iced Americano marks the final street. The ice drops lower in the dark brown shade. The condensation pulls around a ring. Nobody speaks about the promises they gave, or what the coming September might bring. A bell rings gently as she stands up from her seat. He leaves his half a cup behind a glass. The scent of roasted coffee lingers in the doorway as two young shadows let the summer pass. The old regret breaks the stillness now, while the air conditioner hums its low rhythm. Fluorescent lights flicker against the glass outside. Pedestrians blur through afternoon steam. I watch clear cues bob in dark amber liquid. Condensation trickling down the plastic rim. Your voice echoes back from 2 years ago, sharp enough to freeze the cup in my hand. He ripples off the crosswalk, zebra stripes. City buses rumble past in slow frames. Inside this cool pocket of filtered shade, I sip the bitterness to quiet my brain. Cinematic shadows stretch across the floor. Iced Americano sweating in the midday. Every swallow pulls the fever down low. A brief quiet escape on a crowded street. The world spins outside in a hazy yellow glow, while I hold this frost until the memories fade. A silver tray reflects the neon sign across traffic light, switches from crimson to green. The barista wipes the stainless counter clean. Steam one hisses like a faint sigh. In between I swirl the dark brew, listening to the clink. Ice against plastic like a tiny glass bell. Your old sweater sat on that chair right there. Now it's just sunlight filling up the shelf. Pupils off the crosswalk, zebra stripes. City buses rumble past in slow frames. Inside this cool pocket of filtered shade, I sip the bitterness to quiet my brain. Cinematic shadows stretch across the floor. Iced Americano sweating in the midday. Every swallow pulls a fever down low. A brief quiet escape on a crowded street. The world spins outside in a hazy yellow glow, while I hold this frost until the memories fade. Frame by frame, the summer moves outside. The glass tires sizzle on asphalt, cooked by 3 p.m. I pull cold liquid through the straw real slow, tracing the condensation down to the stem. Silence was absolute until your ghost spoke up. Now I drown the noise in a single deep sip. Melted frost pools beneath the bottom ring. The city hums on, oblivious and bright. Cold coffee in hand, the thought settles down. Just me in the shade in July light. A tiny blue receipt staple sits crooked on the laminate surface. Outside July bakes the crosswalk until the paint looks greasy. I poke the metal prongs with my thumb tip, testing the sharp edge. My rent notice it's in my back pocket like a brick. Then I pull the black straw, sip the dark liquid, and feel my skull cool down. The bitterness cleans out the clutter in my throat. Everyone in this city is running somewhere under the burning heat. I just sit here counting my heartbeats against the air conditioner. 1 sip resets my head, 2 sips clear out the noise. Maybe I do not need a grand solution today. Just give me this giant plastic cup filled with heavy ice. Let the dark roast numb the panic rising in my stomach. The asphalt outside is melting, but I am standing still, drowning my anxiety in 20 ounces of cold brew. I breathe out the heat, I swallow the chill. My laptop screen shows 3 blank slides for tomorrow's meeting. My friends are posting vacation photos from Jeju or Tokyo. I look at my little staple on the format, bent and abandoned. It held 2 pieces of paper together before it got ripped out. I feel like that staple sometimes. Worked hard then pushed aside, but when the iced coffee hits my throat, I remember how to breathe. The condensation runs down the plastic, dripping on my knuckle. I wipe it off, take another gulp and smile to myself. Just give me this giant plastic cup filled with heavy ice. Let the dark roast numb the panic rising in my stomach. The asphalt outside is melting, but I am standing still, drowning my anxiety in 20 ounces of cold brew. I breathe out the heat, I swallow the chill. Summer used to mean freedom when I was 18. Now it just means a higher electric bill and sweating through my shirt. Yet the single glass makes the afternoon feel manageable. The ice rattles like dice in a cup, giving me my next turn. Staple on the table, ice cubes turning into water. My heart rate finally slowing down. I take one last long sip and close my eyes. Crosswalk chimes echo through afternoon traffic while you stir the dark roast until the plastic sweating stops. You came out wearing that washed out gray t-shirt, looking like you slept 3 hours after another graveyard shift. I know the sight you just hid behind the paper sleeve. The company email still unread on your lock screen. Just take a sip before you try to explain it all. The ice is clinking against the side, giving us a beat. The pavement outside is baking in July. Everyone is rushing toward the air-conditioned train, but right here under this small canvas shade, you don't have to act like you got it figured out. Drink it down slow, let the thoughts clear head. We can sit right here till the traffic light turns red. You've been carrying the weight of the whole damn week, so drink it down slow. You don't even have to speak, just a cold Americano in a quiet corner seat. Let the afternoon drift on this summer street. You spin the straw and tell me about the rent increase, how your boss took credit for the deck you built last night. I pulled 2 extra napkins from the wooden counter box, pushing the fresh cup toward your side of the table. Remember back in 22 when we had nothing planned, we bought cheap canned coffees and walked along the riverbank. You're still the same kid who wanted to change the world, you just forgot how to breathe along the way. The pavement outside is baking in July. Everyone is rushing toward the air-conditioned train, but right here under this small canvas shade, you don't have to act like you got it figured out. Drink it down slow, let the frost clear head. We can sit right here till the traffic light turns red. You've been carrying the weight of the whole damn week, so drink it down slow. You don't even have to speak, just a cold Americano in a quiet corner seat. Let the afternoon drift on this summer street. The city keeps moving at 100 miles an hour, demanding answers that we don't have today. So let the condensation drip down on your fingers. We'll leave the heavy worries on the alley curb outside. Take another sip, my friend. The ice is almost gone, but we're okay. No rush to stand up yet, just stay right here on this summer street. Crush bin and dark rose fragrance fills the alleyway. He shifts his weight upon the painted bench. July has turned the concrete into silver fire. He searches for a cool relief to quench. A giant plastic tumbler rests between his hands, filled high with ice and dark cold brew inside. He taps his foot to beats nobody understands, while urban traffic surges like a tide. The city rushes past in hazy green and gray. He takes a sip to chill his tired mind. He thinks about the things he didn't say and all the summer plans are left behind. He drinks cold coffee while the afternoon dissolves. The bitter taste rests heavy on his tongue. Around his cup, the quiet world revolves. A 30-something story just begun. He swirls the ice cubes till the dark turns pale, finding a peace within the summer gale. The heavy the aroma of ground beans clings to his shirt. He checks his watch, then checks his inbox screen. A quiet life with little joy and little hurt, stuck somewhere in the spaces in between. The straw clicks softly on the plastic rim. He pulls the chill dark liquid through the filter's edge. The shadow of the balcony grows dim. He sets the sweat and tumbler on the ledge. No sudden anger, no dramatic scene, just solitude dressed up in summer clothes. He watches neon signs begin to gleam and takes the slow path everywhere he goes. Another swallow clears his heavy chest. He lets the cold draft do the rest. The ice is gone, the plastic cup is dry. He tosses it into the recycle bin. He pulls his cap down low against the sky, ready to let the evening begin. A silver spoon rests beside the sweating glass. Outside the pavement bakes under July heat. I watch a tiny water droplet pass down the glass wall to the table near my feet. My phone is quiet, line, screen side down. 28 feels heavier than I planned. I swirl the black brew, watch it spin around, holding winter briefly in my hand. The air conditioner hums a low soft key. The city outside moves a little too fast. Just 5 minutes of this chill is all I need to make this quiet afternoon last. Cold coffee dripping through the afternoon heat. Bitter sweetness sinking to the bottom of the cup. I'm just cooling off on this shaded street, waiting for the tangled thoughts to open up. Ice clings slow, chilling out the noise inside, where the summer heat and all my worries hide. Tiny paper wrapper sits beside my thumb, folded 3 times, forgotten in the shade. People walk past looking busy and numb, counting up the small mistakes they made. I take a long sip, feel the frost in my throat, resetting every thought that drifted out of place. Just a lone passenger floating on a boat in a quiet little air-conditioned space. Maybe life doesn't need a grand redesign. Maybe I just needed a minute to breathe, watching the condensation trace a fine line, giving myself permission not to leave. Cold coffee dripping through the afternoon heat. Bitter sweetness sinking to the bottom of the cup. I'm just cooling off on a shaded street, waiting for the tangled thoughts to open up. Ice clings slow, chilling out the noise inside, where the summer heat and all my worries hide. The silver spoon is still staying cool. The glass is almost empty now, just cold melted ice in a tiny clear pool. I breathe out slow and wonder how. A crumpled straw wrapper sits beside my thumb, surrounded by tiny droplets sliding down the cup. Outside the pavement bakes under July heat, while I sit in the corner with a chill beat. The bass in my headphones keeps humming real low. I swirl the cold brew and watch the ice cubes slow. Everyone outside is rushing somewhere they belong, and I am just staying here hiding in a song. My phone screen lights up with a text I ignore. The air conditioner blows a draft across the floor. I take a deep sip, let the bitter taste remain, washing off the summer haze, cleansing out the strain. 30% sweetness in an extra large glass, chasing down the worries that I hope will finally pass. The city runs hot, but my fingertips stay cold, telling myself stories that I never have told. Just me and this iced coffee, drowning out the afternoon, wishing this quiet sanctuary wouldn't end too soon. Yeah. 2 people walk past the glass window holding hands, talking about weekend trips and vacation plans. I tap my white sneaker to a cadence in my head, rewinding all the clumsy things I wish I hadn't said. 20-something years and I still overthink the room, seeking shelter from the blazing afternoon bloom. The ice cube cracks with a sudden sharp click, condensing on the plastic where the drops run thick. My phone screen goes dark and I let it lie still. The condensed water gathers on the wooden sill. I take another sip, let the cold liquid fall, building up a quiet boundary against it. 30% sweetness in an extra large glass, chasing down the worries that I hope will finally pass. The city runs hot, but my fingertips stay cold, telling myself stories that I never have told. Just me and this iced coffee, this quiet sanctuary wouldn't end too soon. Maybe it is fine if I just freeze time right here, watching the condensation make the world feel clear. No major revelations, no dramatic sudden change, just cooling off the thoughts that used to feel so strange. The ice is almost turned into water now. I wipe a thin line of chill across my brow. 30% sweet, mostly dark and cold. I grab my tote bag, ready for the world outside to unfold. Bus brakes hiss against the hot asphalt outside. You lean your head back, watching the ceiling fan glide. Another long week of useless meetings and bad news. I see the dark circles you try so hard to lose. You pull the green plastic straw between your thumb and pen, asking me when life gets simple once again. The city outside is 35 degrees, but right here the air conditioner gives us a breeze. Stop looking at your phone screen for a minute or two. The world can keep spinning while I sit here with you. Listen to the ice cubes clinking in your glass. Let the heavy summer afternoon slowly pass. Take a deep breath and drink your cold brew down. We do not need to solve every problem in this town. The sweating glass sits right between your palms, bringing us a little bit of quiet midsummer calm. Just sip it slow, let the frost clear your mind. Leave the worries of your 20s far behind. The bar reads the changes the track to some lo-fi beats. A delivery truck horn honks down empty streets. You tell me you feel like you are falling way behind, comparing your path to everyone you find. I push the small pitcher of syrup to your side, reminding you there is nowhere you need to hide. Remember when we bought cheap iced Americanos, walking through the neighborhood with nowhere to go. Looking at your phone screen for a minute or two. The world can keep spinning while I sit here with you. Listen to the ice cubes clinking in your glass. Let the heavy summer afternoon slowly pass. Take a deep breath and drink your cold brew down. We do not need to solve every problem in this town. The sweating glass sits right between your palms, bringing us a little bit of quiet midsummer calm. Just sip it slow, let the frost clear your mind. Leave the worries of your 20s far behind. The pavement bakes right beyond the glass door. We do not have to rush into the heat anymore. You were doing just fine, even if it feels tough. Sitting right here with cold coffee is enough. The ice is half melted now, the glass is almost clear. I'm glad you called me up and came over here. Take one last sip, my friend. We will be alright in the end. Burnt cocoa sand hangs in the air outside the glass doors. He counts the dripping ice cubes inside his plastic cup. Across the table she glides a red straw around the rim. Neither of them speaks about the letter on the floor. The human street keeps buzzing right beyond the tinted window. He takes a silent sip to keep his heavy thoughts at bay. The city cooks in 30-degree heat, their hands are inches apart on cold lemonade. She checks her phone, then looks into his eyes. A quiet truce before the afternoon dies. He drinks the cold brew like it holds a secret cure. She lets the dark rose wash away the doubt. Midsummer warmth surrounds the quiet cafe floor. Two frozen glasses figure what they cannot spell out. The winter memories memories melt down inside the sweet cream chill. They sit together while the world outside stands still. Yeah, her fingers leave faint prints against the sweat and plastic wall. He stirs his eyes black coffee till the liquid turns to foam. A breeze from the air conditioner strikes her bare shoulders. They watch the traffic light turn yellow, green, and red. 3 years of history condensed into a single afternoon. He shifts his chair and tries to find the right words now. The city cooks in 30-degree heat. Their hands are inches apart on cold lemonade. She checks her phone, then looks into his eyes. A quiet truce before the afternoon dies. He drinks the cold brew like it holds a secret cure. She lets the dark rose wash away the doubt. Midsummer warmth surrounds the quiet cafe floor. Two frozen glasses figure what they cannot spell out. The winter memories melt down inside the sweet cream chill. They sit together while the world outside stands still. No raised voices under the yellow lights, just bitter espresso swallowed down to stay calm. She reaches for a bag, he tilts his head away. The simple comfort of the ice against his palm. A temporary shelter from the July sun. He finishes the last drop through the paper straw. She stands up slowly, leaving half her drink behind. The summer air swallows their quiet goodbye. Cold coffee cups left sitting in the afternoon. A sudden memory fractures the silent room right before the ceiling fan turns. The lens adjusts the light, slipping past dark green plastic blinds. Shadows stretch across linoleum like ink running thin on damn film. On the table a clear cup sits under a 30-degree angle of harsh sun. Droplets beat on the curved plastic wall, holding the entire street upside down. I pull the straw up half an inch, listening to the small suction click. The frame freezes for 2 seconds as the beat drops low in my head. He glares outside the double pane glass, bright enough to burn the edges. I shift my weight in the leather chair, watching the condensation line drop. You used to stand right where that reflection hits the counter edge. Slow shutter speed captures the ice shifting against the plastic rim. Outside, the city moves at 90 frames per second in midsummer heat. Inside this cool air, everything holds still around my dark brew. A cinematic cut from your hand on the glass to my fingers turning cold. We are just color-graded shadows drinking down the afternoon silence. Ay, pan left to the low voltage bulb humming above the counter display. Dust motes suspend mid-air like static floating inside a wide shot. I take a long draw through the paper straw, bitterness spreading across my tongue. The cold hits my throat hard, sharp as a sudden transition frame. Cars glide down the street in overexposed white flashes behind the glass. Every small movement feels directed, rehearsed and recorded in low contrast. Slow shutter speed captures the ice shifting against the plastic rim. Outside, the city moves at 90 frames per second in midsummer heat. Inside this cool air, everything holds still around my dark brew. A cinematic cut from your hand on the glass to my fingers turning cold. We are just color-graded shadows drinking down the afternoon silence. Rack focus from the melted water pool to the street corner light outside. The silence returned the moment your name slipped through my mind again. No dialogue needed, just the quiet hum of the air conditioner overhead. The camera stays static while the ice cubes slowly lose their sharp corners. Fade out on the condensation, dripping down to the paper napkin. The straw rests against the lid, quiet and unmoving. Midsummer vinyl frame still, cold coffee in hand, the scene ends right here. What happens to the sentences we swallow right before speaking? Do they sink down to the stomach or linger in the throat? My straw clicks against a block of clear frozen water. Outside the green window, a dog bites at the hot air. I'm looking at my phone, pressing the black screen. Ay, ay. Your unread text from people I used to know intimately. Is it 28 degrees or 32 today? My sweater in my backpack feels like a bad joke from January. Ay, the bass in this coffee shop is way too heavy for 2 in the afternoon. My thoughts wander off to a beach I never visited. Someone orders a hazelnut latte with extra syrup. I wonder if my rent is due on the 1st or the 2nd. Everything floats around, cold and loose. Sipping this dark bitter liquid while the world runs late. My brain drifts from old mistakes to what I'm having for dinner. A plastic lid, a sweat-covered cup, a midsummer trance. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just taking another sip. Rhythm moves slow through the air conditioning draft. Sipping this dark bitter liquid, watching my reflection dissolve. Hey, did I turn off the fan in my bedroom this morning? Whatever, the electric bill is already a disaster. I trace a line through condensation on the laminate table. A girl in yellow shoes walks past the glass twice. Maybe she forgot something, or maybe she's lost like me. The ice cube splits in half with a tiny quiet crack. That sound reminds me of a promise. Hey, hey, broken in April or was it March? Time feels slippery when you're bored. I should call my mother, but she'll ask about my job search. My thoughts wander off to a train heading somewhere coastbound. The barista wipes the counter for the 5th time today. I wonder if anyone actually reads terms and conditions. Everything floats around, cold and loose. Sipping this dark bitter liquid while the world runs late. My brain drifts from old mistakes to what I'm having for dinner. A plastic lid, a sweat-covered cup, a midsummer trance. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just taking another sip. Rhythm moves slow through the air conditioning draft. Sipping this dark bitter liquid, watching my reflection dissolve. Wait, did I lock the front door? Pretty sure I did, but my memory is full of gaps, like an old cassette tape left on a hot dashboard. Hey, hey, everything warps a little bit under the summer sun. The bitterness on my tongue grounds me for a second. Then I'm back to thinking about space and ocean trenches. Another ice cube shrinks to nothing. The cup is light now, mostly liquid and air. Or was that question I started with? Doesn't matter anymore. Just another cold sip.